and I had no embarrassment for it. For many of y'all that don't know me that well, um, let's say for about almost close to 2 years and 3 months, I was homeless. It happened from a sequence of events, from breaking up with my ex-girlfriend and losing my job, and there's a whole bunch of things happened. And subsequently, I ended up living that life. And I mean, no qualms about that. I documented it here and a whole bunch of other things. But I want to not talk about myself right now. I want to talk about something that happened with me. This is a true story. I hold no front to it. And, they say you shouldn't brag about things or whatever, but I am familiar with being homeless. And I know the feeling. I know the feeling. And I never had people, I went from people paying attention to me to people literally ignoring me. And to all sakes and matters, I look different than the average homeless person at the time. I kind of look similar to where I look at right now. Now, hey, what's going on? Tell them 5627. I want to tell homeless folks this, and I wanted you to listen to me. Tonight, I just went to New York. It only cost me $6 to get to New York from where I live. So I went to New York, went to go see some friends. I had to go pay my storage, and then I came back. And as I was walking, it started getting colder and colder and colder as the night persisted. In fact, it started getting way colder around about, okay, as I started walking, I started seeing more and more and more homeless people on the street. And it was like some of them were getting prepared. I can tell they throwing a extra blanket around them. Like you'll have guys that walk around with two or three blankets or whatever. Um, some of the guys you'll see them really bundled up with everything on them or whatever. And I saw people not only sleeping on the streets, but I seen people just laying down on the subway tonight. The subway was real packed tonight with people. Like I literally saw some dudes that had the whole blanket cart and everything, and they were like sleeping on the subway. You know what I mean? And even though there's like these services and all that stuff or whatever, a lot of these people are afraid to go in there because many of the people that are in there, you gotta be tough. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be tough. And if you're not, they're gonna wash you. You know what I'm saying? And I can't front. I've been in jail before 2 times, so you know what I mean. I got a certain aura I care with me or whatever, whatever. So that wasn't the situation with me. You know what I mean? And the one time it did happen, I checked it. And on better than part of that, I had some set up. Shout out to my man Bishmi Allah. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Jay and a couple other people that were in there with me that I still talk to this day that are back settled and they back in their, situations living and everything like that. But they're a whole witness to this. You know what I'm saying? One dude tried me or whatever. I watched him real quick with a chair. Don't ever try that again with me. You know what I'm saying? They were there to witness it. You know what I mean? And the funny thing was he thought he was gonna get over with me. But a lot of people, they scared to go to these shelters because the pure simple fact there's a lot of violence that happens in there, there's a lot of drugs that happen in there, there's a lot of women getting assaulted. Yes, in some of these shelters there's people getting assaulted. I want to tell the homeless crowd, if you're out there, and I know a lot of y'all online, believe it or not, a lot of homeless people got cell phones, a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? It's the key to communication. If y'all see this right now, this weekend is going to be extremely cold, all right? And here in the Northeast, extremely cold. And I want all of y'all to just bear under. And this weekend, just do it because tomorrow is going to be like 13, 14 degrees or something like that. It's going to be extremely cold. You cannot stand, your body cannot stand it. You understand what I'm saying? Your body cannot stand it. So if you guys, if you see this or you know someone that is, please encourage them like I did tonight. The reason I'm doing this live because I got home a little bit later than usual. You know what I'm saying? Because the pure simple fact there was this dude on the train and he was asking for change. All right. And I said, yo, Pa, I ain't got no change to give you. I used the card. And I took my Cash App money that this guy Jim sent me or whatever, whatever, and I put it on my card. So I didn't have no cash on me. Well, homie started talking to me. He was like, "No, that's all right, man." And he was so sincere when he was talking. This is a Puerto Rican brother. He was so sincere when he was talking. And I said, "Yo, hold on." So when we underground, you can't get no signal or whatever. But I started telling him, I was like, "Listen, man, you need to go to. You need to go to. You ever heard of a spot called Aloe Vera?" He was like, Nah. I was like, yo, let me put you on. And that's the thing about the shelter I was at. Nobody's ever heard of that shelter in New York because it's so small, so obscure. In the area that it's in, you would never guess it's there because it's so well hidden. It almost blends in with the rest of the neighborhood. And to give you an example, there's like office buildings. I'm talking about multi-million dollar office buildings. There's freaking like high-end apartments over there and everything else. So we were underground, so I didn't have a signal. So I said, "Yo, Pa, stay on the train with me. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up to get you the address." So I got him the address. I said, "I know it's on 30th Street. I just don't know the exact address." And I wanted to give him the address because even though he was homeless, he had a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just like, I think it's weird sometimes when people just don't think that like homeless folks don't have cell phones or they shouldn't have cell phones. Of course they have cell phones. How they gonna? You gotta move. You know. Now, I know a lot of people are not gonna want to hear this, but I'm gonna do this because if I didn't do this, I would be fake as fuck. So the guy was on. We finally got a signal, and we got to towards like it was towards the Bronx. I am gonna tell y'all where, but after 149. So we got a signal. So once I got the signal, he was just like he was scared and he was nervous. I know that whole staff there. So I said, yo, you know what? I'm gonna go back with you, you know what I'm saying? And see if we can get you in there. And that's exactly what I did. I took the train ride with him, went back there, you know what I'm saying? And made sure he was in there. The reason I'm telling you this, guys, is if you know anybody in your neighborhood or whatever, a lot of people have a thing where they want to make fun of homeless people and joke them and tell you don't know why these people are homeless. A lot of people lost their homes. A lot of people lost family members they might have used to live with. Some people might have lost. I bet people that lost kids and it just spiraled out of control. Or something like their kid died or something like that, or was harmed, or was murdered, or was in a car wreck. You don't know what happened. You feel me? So don't be so quick to judge people or whatever, because I would have never been one of those people to judge people. But what I found out was when that shit happened to me, it was no laughing matter. And I know how those people feel because I was one of them, you know? And that's why I incentivized the Poppy. I was like, yo, like, I ain't say it like I was one of you, but I let him know, you know what I'm saying? And so this man, hopefully, because it's a drop-in center. So I don't know if y'all know what that means across the country. That means you can go there for a couple of hours, get warm, whatever the case may be, and then you gotta leave until you get a case manager, or if you want a case manager and become a client. So I'm hoping that's what he does. He's gonna have to wait till Monday to do that though. So at least he's got somewhere to warm up for a few hours until 5 o'clock. Because they make him get out at like 5 o'clock in the morning. But he'll be able to go in there, he'll be able to stay warm or whatever. And I'm sure it's gonna be packed in there, but it's better than being on the goddamn subway. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping he doesn't do that. And if he does stay on the subway, I understand everything, and I respect it because you gotta have tough skin. This is New York City. Holy shit. I always do it, son. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you gotta be tough. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I, after I cracked money with the chair, I tried to take his whole back of his head off. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, yo, you think I'm a sucker? Huh? The son, I did two bids. You know what I'm saying? Two of them long ones too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so hopefully the guy do that. But I want you to encourage you guys as well. If you know anybody in your neighborhood or you walk past somebody, to stop making fun of homeless folks because like I said, you don't know what their situation is. But if you see any of these guys that are out there that look, I want to mind you, don't walk up to nobody that look crazy. Don't walk up to nobody that look like they're a little, drugged out or something like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put your life in danger. You know what I'm saying? But if they seem sane and whatever, tell them, give them the information. You know what I'm saying? This guy, he was saying he definitely wasn't on drugs. He was looking for food. I told him, I said, yo, everything I got in the bag though, Pop, because y'all know I just did a thing earlier. And I said, yo, everything I got in the bag, Pop, like you got to cook it, and it was the truth. There was nothing in my bag that I could have gave him. But at least this way, at the homeless shelter that I directed him to, they'll give him something to eat. They'll make sure he's all right for the night, and you won't be out. It is incredibly too cold. To give y'all an example how cold it is here, not in just Connecticut, but I was in New York tonight. So New York, Connecticut, and Jersey. Like I said, I live on the border, all three. I can get to all three. I can get to New York, New York, Jersey, and Connecticut, all within 30 minutes walk. You understand what I'm saying? Like in 30 to 40 minutes of all of them. So it don't take me long. So an hour from Jersey to here, they ain't an hour, 45 minutes at tops. So the first part of Georgia, I just can't. It's gonna be like 15. I think it's like 15 or something like that. And the wind chill factor is supposed to be like 10 below zero tomorrow. It's supposed to be extremely cold. We can feel it right now. And I'm lucky that these folks came and fixed my heat, because I didn't have no heat up in here. My heat was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Kind of find out. And I fixed it partially myself, and the folks came in here and fixed it too. But listen, man, you cannot be out there tonight. And so I wish that Black and Latino people would start using some common sense. If these people out on the street, you do yourself no justice as a culture when you walk past homeless folks and you try to make fun of them or joke them or be like, if I was homeless, I'm better than this person. And you come from, most of you come from the housing projects. Most of you come from homes they ain't never seen more than 20 at tops $30,000 a year, and it's like seven of y'all motherfuckers that was in there. You understand what I'm saying? So stop acting like you better than everybody. Who are you better in comparison to, motherfucker? Who? Who? Because if your parents never made no more than $20,000, $30,000 a year, and you counting on because you went to a local community college to study nursing, then you ain't shit. And I hate to say it, I see it more so from women in the culture, from both, especially Latin women. A lot of Latin women love to get loud and talk about, oh, I worked so hard, that'll never happen to me. You know what I'm saying? The second one in line is like Jamaican and Caribbean women. Ah, you're lazy, boy. You're lazy. That's what happened to you. What are you, a fucking clinical psychiatrist? Bet you about 5 seconds from not being able to pay that $2,300 a month for rent. You living in that fucking hovel of yours. You understand what I'm saying? Because make no mistake about it. Most of the people that are saying it, they saying it to make their self feel better. When you really dig down and dig deep into it, you look at their address, you look at the neighborhoods around them in New York City. Because let's just keep it a buck. New York City neighborhoods, for the most part, I'm gonna say at a 70% margin, ain't nothing like what's in South Jersey or definitely where I live. You understand what I'm saying? And I say that as a testament because I done lived in all three of them motherfuckers. So I'm telling you, you know what I mean? They do it like it's a comparison shit or some shit. I don't know. It's just like weird, because so many people in New York don't have so much anyway, and the scale that they have, or they compare themselves to things, it's like this small margin. Like to people that's outside of the dynamic of New York City, you would be looking at them and be like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, because I've done it before, and I didn't even do it like unnaturally. I did it naturally because I lived out here in CT. So like, if you can make sense of what I'm saying, they use like this comparison margin. And so it's like a tier. Well, I know the people in Midtown Manhattan, I can't compete with them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I find somebody that I think is up under me or is up under me. And then I'm gonna say something to them. Mind you, I'm just the maid, I'm the parking attendant, I'm the motherfucking security, you know what I'm saying? Basically Steven, you know what I mean? And they'll never think like that because they ain't intelligent enough to think like that. Because if they were intelligent enough to think like that, they wouldn't be working that fucking job in the first place, you fucking loser. So, like I said, if you know anybody that's homeless or anything like that or whatever, instead of chastising them or whatever, use a little bit of compassion, especially how you gotta call yourself Christians and Jews or whatever, whatever. If you really want to get down to it, God said you're supposed to give a percentage of your earnings to who? The poor. So don't call yourself no Christian if you ain't helping nobody else. Call being empathetic. It's called being philanthropic, and it's called being social. You know what I'm saying? In your surrounding, in your community, and upholding your community. So if you want to compare yourself and you want to sit around and put on your little white voice when you go to work and stuff, like, oh my God, how you doing, Billy? How was your weekend? Was it bedtime? And them people would, if you ever went to them and needed some help, trust me, them people would leave you deader than a doorknob. You understand what I'm saying? That's a damn shame what happened to Shanique when she got fired. That's a damn shame what happened to Rashawn. He got fired. Oh, I wonder what he's going to. They're not going to wonder what you're going to do. They're not going to put a pool together, whatever. They'll let your ass get kicked out. And then, like, just how you was making fun of Staggo Wino Joey the bum, you now Staggo Joey Wino the bum. You understand? So be careful when you point your finger at people or you try to use bravado or whatever. Like, I saw a lot of people that was just disgusting in New York tonight. Like there was this girl that got on the train tonight, and I'm gonna call you out because you got on 149th to Third Ave, and you was like the loudest Dominican chick I ever seen in my life, and he was like trying to throw all these little subs or whatever. That same person I was talking about that was laying down and sleep. Oh, I hope I never get fucked up like niggas be out here. You try to act like you was Big Willie, bitch. You got on 149th to Third Ave. Ain't no money over there, and the money that is over there is drug money. All right, the money is like everything about you was just giving like wannabe vibes. That's what I'm saying. So that loudmouth Dominican chick, and that's what forced me to be like, yo, let me help this man. And I said it as loud as I could on that train. I said, I know what it's like to be you because I went through that. Not true, blow. Some of them will you, sir, yo. You got to rewrite that. That is like, I cannot read that. I'm sorry. Like you said about Courtney Love. You've got a city country boy step or whatever. You got a not true bluff. Some of them will you, sir, your head. No, no. Like you, come on. You got some of them will not. You got to rewrite that. I can't articulate that. Yeah, and then you just ended it off with, sir, you heard word no more cap. Whatever you just said, rewrite it. But don't interrupt me until you can write it correct English. I know what this is because I went through this. You know, someone says, so ain't goddamn thing you gonna tell me about the fucking homeless system if you're trying to correct me or something. Like, I don't know what you're doing. But that's not articulated English. So type it again, friend, so I can understand it. I don't think you mean anything bad. But this chick tonight on the train, you ain't gonna tell me what I saw or what I heard. Because I kept looking at her as she was saying what she was saying. So don't try to dictate my experience when I was there in person. I don't know, because it'd be a lot of weird. Let me tell y'all something. It'd be a lot of weird Black and Latin people in the inner city nowadays. I mean, like weird. Like before, it used to be a paradigm of folks trying to keep it real, keep it 100. Not true, sir. Some will help you, bro. Meaning the white folks at your employer. We're not talking about white folks and employer. You will have that argument with somebody else, okay? I live in an all-white state, bro. You can't tell me nothing about white people. I grew up most of my life here in Connecticut. You see what I'm saying? You can't tell me nothing. I grew up around mostly Italians and Greek people. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time. So you can't tell me nothing about white folks because I still got friends of them. They still hang with me. They still check me or whatever, whatever. Yes, some white people will help you. Some white people won't help you. You know what I'm saying? A vast majority, if they don't know you outside the work environment, no, they will not help you. You know what I'm saying? And to keep it even more so, a system of dignity with a lot of white people allows them to actually give Black and Latin people this idea that they're better if they pretend like they're better than somebody homeless. I can't tell you how many times out here in Connecticut I've heard white people, oh, well, what would I do if I was homeless? Or what would I, like it's a mentality that's really American. And what it does is it's based in American capitalism, culturally, you know what I'm saying, and the scale. You know what I'm saying? And like I know what that is because I was in the music business before. So it's like, okay, bro, I'm from the Midwest originally. It don't get more sneaky than that. You got it, boss. No disrespect. I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't like what you're talking about. So let's get him the fuck up out of here. All right, anyway, yeah, I just did not like what you were talking about. Let's get you the fuck up out of here. Like that was just a whole bunch. I came in here talking about something serious, and you see what I mean about motherfucking niggas like that. They come in and they want to start shit. He wanted to take the conversation somewhere else. We're not talking about what you want to talk about. So fuck you and fuck everybody living in your house, you bitch ass nigga. Anyway, that's a bitch nigga. Like I don't like dudes like that. That's why Cynthia G and people like that got a platform to talk about men. Because when you trying to talk about something serious, you got one of these single raised motherfuckers coming in here and never been around no men, never threw a football, trying to give their own brand of shit. He came in here just now trying to defend white people. Nigga, we talking about Black and Latin people sleeping on the train. Ain't no motherfuckers out here where I live at that's white sleeping on a fucking train, you stupid fucking fuck. That's why I don't like people like that. We're talking about black and Latin people. And that's what I saw tonight with my own two eyes. I was in the areas, I was down by 23rd Street, I was down by 42nd. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You talking about when you say you was from the Midwest, how you dictate what happens here in the tri-state? See what I mean? Like, it's something wrong with black and Latin people. And that was a perfect description of it. He came in here taking up for white people. Why you telling me about white people and I live in fucking Connecticut? Are you on drugs? Anyway, when we got disturbances like that from people of color, that's the problem. These are the same goofballs that go over and donate 200, 300, 400, $500 to fucking people that are already millionaires and not one time thinking in their mind, am I doing the right thing? Take that 200, 300, $400 and go donate it to a homeless center, motherfucker. There's a whole bunch of black ran homeless centers. There's a whole bunch of Latin ran homeless centers. There's a lot of like I know this place right now around the corner. There's a Latino church. They do their duty giving out people food, everything else or whatever to help people because it's freezing. When I tell you it's freezing, it's always cold in the Northeast, but it's a different type of cold right now. For the next 3 days and on Sunday going into Monday, it's going to snow. So that means for 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 days guaranteed, it's going to be in freezing conditions. And I'm talking about black and Latin people. This motherfucker that was just in here chose to interrupt me, talking about that's not true, sir. Some white people will help you. Shut the fuck up. I just had a white dude donate to me today. You didn't. So if you ain't donate to me, shut the fuck up and get off my channel. I don't know you, punk bitch ass nigga. I'm gonna go back to his page too when I see him. Like, yo, let me see what this goofball is. Probably not one of them goofballs that, like, that's something wrong with this general. I don't care what nobody say. A lot of y'all have fucked up parents, no parents at all. Grandma was too old to raise y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mommy was still twerking while you was being raised. You know what I mean? Now y'all at the club together. She 34 or 32, and now y'all at the club twerking together. Moms and sons is drinking together, getting high together. I done seen it all. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it all. And I'm a college graduate. So you can't sit there and tell me, like, I don't know why people be forgetting that. I went to college, homie. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't grow up bad. I grew up most of my life on the shoreline by a shitload of water, boats. You know what I'm saying? Ask people that know me. You know what I mean? So, and I've lived like that for a long time. You know, it wasn't until I became homeless that I got the shock and awe that, yeah, this could happen to you too. So I found myself the other day, and I think it was God because I was thinking about it. It always reiterates my mind. I've only been back in the plum 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So it always reiterates in my mind. Y'all don't even know. Like sometimes I can't even sleep because I'm not used to like y'all ain't gonna understand that, but I'm so used to moving all the time. You would have to get up at 5 a.m. You have to have a time to eat and time to do this, time to do that, time to do this, time to do, you know what I mean? Like it was a rush to get back there. Like I always had a rush, you know. So trust me, you don't know what you're talking about. Tomorrow, I live in the Midwest. Why the fuck are you talking about New York, Connecticut, and Jersey? Y'all motherfuckers sound stupid sometimes. That's why I said like they had no rearing this last generation, damn near it. You know what I'm saying? And the morals and the dignity points that they stick at. You want here defending white folks? Talking about that's not true. Well, some white folks will help you. You want here defending white folks as priority, and I'm on here talking about black and Latin people. And your willingness and your want to try to join in the social order of them ain't gonna work. And I tell you why it ain't gonna work. First of all, a lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna want to hear this. A lot of it has to do with the fuck your facial features look like. It don't matter how fucking. Listen, you can be one or two uglies, right? You're either ugly and scary, or you're ugly and harmless looking. I'll give you an example. A lot of people will say Anita Hill. A lot of people will say who's somebody else is ugly and harmless. Some people will say I don't know, Clarence Thomas. He was ugly and harmless, you know. Anita Hill, she's ugly and harmless. I mean, and she's part of the unfuckables. You know what I'm saying? Like, you either ugly and harmless or you're good looking and a problem. I'll give you an example of that. Candace Owens, you can like her or don't like her. She's an attractive fucking woman, and she's from here in Stanford. You know what I mean? Jen Psaki, you can say whatever the hell you want to about her. She's a sexy and attractive woman, and she's a White House press secretary. She's from right here in Stanford as well. But That's not what I'm talking about. It's like a lot of people think that they can all automatically interact. Here's a better example. The other night, Kodak Black, and y'all know the story I put up. He went to a hockey game, right? And he was with his girlfriend Kiara, whatever her name is, and they got us accused of having sex at the hockey game. I think I debunked that the night it happened. So go back and look at that video, and you'll see when I did it or whatever. I had it up before the major media outlets did. That's why I tell you, it'd be sucker motherfuckers come to my page and like. There's people that don't want me to win. Trust me on this when I tell you this. You know what I'm saying? Because I see it and I'm almost like shocked the amounts. And it's mostly, believe it or not, men that's flagging me. It's not even women, it's men. Gay ass, homosexual, feminine acting as men that can't stay centered, don't do nothing for the culture, just sit around and try to start shit all the fucking time, sit around and gossip like women or whatever. Well, here's something for you to gossip about. It's going to be freezing for the next 4 days, and your people may be in danger of freezing to death, going into hypothermia because the temperatures and the louded clothing that they have and things like that are not adjusted enough for them to be out in this winter chill cold. So what you gonna do since you such a real man? You know all these alpha nibblers and all that shit. You gotta proclaim you an alpha. You're not an alpha. You're a fucking sucker beta. You understand what I'm saying? And you have the description fucked up totally. You know what I mean? A fucking alpha would get out there and be like, I have to take precedence right now and help people. You understand? I've done my part tonight, and I think other people should do their part. And there's other things that I do that people don't even see. Before, when I was still homeless, I would see other homeless people, and I strike me down if I'm saying this wrong. And I would still help people. You understand what I'm saying? When I was there in a fucking hotel, not that long away from here, you know what I'm saying, through the homeless shelter system and all that stuff, I was still helping certain people. My man would be like, cause some people they would depend on the free meal. They give you 3 free meals a day, and that's all they would have. They wouldn't have no extra money to go buy some sandwich meat or go, you know what I'm saying, get a soda or whatever, whatever. So how you gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? You got to wait from 12 to 3, from 3 to 6, and then now from 6 to next to 8 in the morning. Can't nobody live off like that. You know what I'm saying? I used to see people saving their dinners and shit like that. I'd be like, yo, son, certain people, I'd be like, yo, son, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Here goes some lunch meat, here goes some sandwich, because that shit cheap. Like, buy some sandwich meat. Even if I just buy them the sandwich meat and some bread, you know what I mean? Then go find some mustard or something to throw on it. People will tell you this. This is the truth. So, yeah, man, that shit right there is seldom me. If y'all just not coming as country boy stepper looking for some clout. Nigga, you're not gonna get no clout off being in the comment section like the way you coming in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? I know the whole tripe of being in the comment section, but not on this one, bro. This is about the people. You in here, he was in here gassing up white people. That ain't true. No, no, no. There's always gonna be a candid layer, nickel. Why don't you just say that, you punk motherfucker? Anyway, listen, hopefully we won't ever see that motherfucker again. I just blocked him. I just want to tell you guys this, right? Long story short, all across this country, because the front is coming from the Midwest. That's why, how could you not understand this? Because it get extremely cold in Chicago. But the front is coming from the Midwest and it's coming to the Northeast and it's just hit us. You understand what I'm saying? That part is clear. And I'll give you an example. When I was coming up the block, come home. The wind was hitting me so hard, it was like pushing me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm 6 motherfucking 3, and the wind was pushing me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about a light push. I'm talking about like push. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't a regular push that I get more often. And I know it wasn't just me because I saw 3 or 4 other people that were getting off the train that was going through the same exact thing. The same exact thing. And this dude gonna come in here and don't want to join the discussion. He want to take up for white folks right now. Right now, white folks is in the house, nice, comfy, and whatever. And even if they ain't, they got some white. If you're not taking care of preserving your white privilege, you have failed as a white man. You are an unaccomplished white man or white woman. I feel very little empathy when I see homeless white folks outside, because the pure simple fact they will be the first ones helped. And I've seen it with my own two eyes. Even the black and Latin caseworkers will go out of their way to help them before they help their own people. And it's too much of that in that system. It's too much of that from motherfuckers in general. Tonight, when I walked out of Trader Joe's, the black dude who was clearly homosexual, which I have no problem with. I got two cousins that's homosexual. I don't give a shit about that. But he went about his way. He was trying to appear decadent. I'm like, nigga, how decadent does it take a fucking college degree to work at Trader Joe's? Not no disrespect to nobody at Trader Joe's, but nigga, you look like you about 35 plus. You ain't exactly set the fucking world on fire. At 35, I was in Miami on the fucking Ocean Drive having drinks and getting another one delivered to us from the fucking Ciroc truck. You understand what I'm saying? That's a fact. Shout out to little bad boy. He know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Lionel. He know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Live. He know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta make up no stories. That's another thing I hate too. Motherfuckers be trying to talk all big. I be like, yo, homie, do you know what I did for 17 years of my life? And then I ended up like that. You know what I mean? For a short time, but still, it can happen to you too. And that's the reality of it. These people act like, hey, it happened to them. We're in a freaking pandemic. Pay attention to who look out for you, speak to you, or whatever. Cause I went through the pandemic in homelessness. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm talking about from the beginning of it to you know what I mean? And didn't catch that shit. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? How many out here helping do that? You know what I'm saying? I walked past Fordham today. It was people over there independently giving COVID tests for the people. See, y'all talking all this people stuff or whatever. That shit sound all good and shit online, but if you ain't doing nothing in real life, son, you a flake. You know what I mean? And I wish more people would like, especially the older dudes. It's like if you 35 and over, you like me, y'all ain't saying enough. Y'all ain't saying the right things. Y'all need to get with me so y'all can start saying the right things. The reason that y'all think that y'all like how can I say it? Y'all think y'all translate with these motherfuckers. Y'all don't translate with them. They're not listening to nothing you saying. What they doing is they just digesting the hype. They digesting the beef. They digesting the moment right now where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's say this, let's say that, let's say this, da, 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 da. Or, yo, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. Listen, I copied on that shit about Tiffany Haddish tonight, right? Watch tomorrow. Everybody gonna be on it. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm good at finding shit. I've always been good at finding stuff. I come from a time in the music business when you had to go find things without the use of the internet. You understand what I'm saying? Wasn't no Twitter, nothing like that when I started. So we had to find things off the cuff. You know what I mean? So that's that. I don't know that thing that James Cruz, Sean Prez, Malcolm Miles, Diddy, even Andre Harrell, Harpy, and all of them taught us is always stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to find things. I know how to find things quickly. You know what I mean? And I know where to look. Where some of y'all may not look. Problem is, since out of jealousy and everything like that, people come on my page and want to flag my shit or act like they ain't see the alert or whatever, whatever. But ain't nothing about gossip. They don't want to hear it. If you need an example of that, the person yesterday, they didn't one particular person, they didn't flag that one video, but flag three other videos. I'm like, yo, you pathetic. What you scared of? I'm gonna pop. They gonna hear me regardless. If I take it off of here on YouTube, they gonna hear it regardless. You ain't gonna stop me. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna put my emphasis off of not talking about homeless folks because there's more I can do. So I want to get back to talking about that a little bit more. And I think that's what God was trying to convey to me tonight. Hey, listen, Devin, make sure that you take in blessings, that you in a crib. It's warm in the crib. Thank God for that. My heat got fixed. I got a bag of groceries in my bag right now, whatever, whatever, and that's just content. And if motherfuckers don't want to donate to me, that's fine. And I think I found like a key to it too. You know, there's a thing that comes up on YouTube, Stu. I ain't trying to get off subject here. I just want to explain something. Hey, tell it. One of the things is like when I go to YouTube Studio, I can see who the vast majority of my followers. I think I can't see y'all, I can see who just subscribe to my channel. I can say, I don't know how good y'all are YouTube Studio, but I went through a whole course of it just to figure out how to use that app. And I really do mean that. I mean, like this dude had a course set up where you could figure out how to step by step. This is how to do it. This is how I look at the analytics. This is how I spent 2 days looking at that shit. Like I said, I'm a college grad. I'm stupid. I'm far from stupid. Trust me. You and I are fucking smart actually. My nickname's professional. Like, you know what I mean? That's Sean Press. But the funny thing about it is this, yo. Um, I looked and I could see that not only the new followers that follow me, I could see old followers when they had started following me. And then the other set of demographics I looked at, I could see who the vast majority of y'all, who else y'all view. A lot of y'all view Tasha K. A lot of y'all view Star Monroe. A lot of y'all view Toxic Diamond. I ain't got no problem with Toxic Diamond. I actually like Toxic Diamond a little bit. A lot of y'all follow, who was the other one? Hassan Campbell. A lot of y'all follow a lot of other people, whatever, whatever. I don't do the stuff that they do. I think I got lined with them and people that follow them because I talked about them folks at one point or another in time. And so and if you go to my videos, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. Like I got videos that got thousands of views just talking about them or whatever. But that's not the path we on here. So listen, man, we're gonna switch up some things here. We're gonna get back into talking about the folks and everything like that that's out on the street because this shit is ridiculous. And I'm seeing, like, I can't tell you, like, I wish I could have filmed it, but I didn't want to embarrass some people. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, I'm just walking up the street from freaking Trader Joe's, and I'm just like, I had to pass like nine. I'm not lying, like between 9 to 13 people within a 4 block radius that was sleeping on the street, huddled up in the what's the name with the I don't know, like some people be in these sleeping bags that got warmers in them. Like you may not think it's that warm by the looks of it, but it is. And they're like the problem with them things is like it's not like an electric blanket or nothing like that. It literally has like cells in it that are, and people charge them with solar cells. It's like real popular around like the homeless crowd. Trust me when I tell you this. And so like a lot of these guys are buying those sleeping bags or whatever, and they just cuddle up in them. They're warm as hell in them to the point that they almost sweat. Some dudes will say, "Oh yeah, I'm almost sweating," and they'll get in it and they'll just make that home. But you can't do that this weekend. It ain't gonna work for you. It ain't gonna work for you. It ain't gonna work for you. It's supposed to be wind chill level. It's supposed to be somewhere below 10 degrees tomorrow. Sunday going into Monday, it's supposed to snow. And then Monday, if it's going into Sunday and Monday, it's going to snow. Then you know the setback on Monday, you know the setback on Tuesday, and possibly Wednesday, Thursday, and next Friday too. So I'm just telling people, listen, if you know somebody out here, you ain't got to give them no dime, no money or whatever. Give them some info. Be like I did tonight with homie. Hey, listen, man, this is the homeless shelter. These are the people that can help you. Listen, I'm gonna get you there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna navigate you on the phone. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it happen, and we made it happen. So you know what I'm saying? That's one less off the street tonight, but it's thousands. When I say it's thousands, I'm talking about the New York City, Connecticut, and New Jersey, all three in the tri-state. And then when you get into Philly, Delaware, believe it or not, and the further up north you go, they just knocked down a homeless encampment up in Boston that was the same thing as almost in California, where it's tents and things like that or whatever. And black folks on one hand and Latin people on one hand talking about, oh yeah, we gonna come up or whatever. And then their ambitions of being decadent and being equated with white folks that they never grew up with. It's the funniest thing in the world to see black people, Latin people try to pull out and pretend like they white. If anybody should be acting like they white, it should be me. I grew up around the motherfucker. I'm talking about right next door, friends, went to the schools, fucking, you know what I'm saying, all that. And they got so much of a flair to want to fit in with white culture or whatever that they become actors and actresses. You understand? Like literally, actors and actors. You didn't grow up the way I did. You didn't grow up around the people I did. You don't have the same friends as me. You don't have the same. You never had the same career as me. And they'll use this as a pedestal because now they've gotten to a position where they want to. And I do think this has happened before. You know what I mean? This is where you had that failed cast from the 60s and the 70s that was supposed to pull you up right behind them, and they didn't do that. Instead, they helped Massa and his kids come up. The mentality is dumb, and then they wonder why they losing. This is why you're losing, motherfucker, and you're going to continue to lose even more as time progresses. You understand what I'm saying? And now you're losing numbers, and you're not paying attention to that. Most of these people, they know nothing about finance. They know nothing about statistics. They know nothing about trajectory numbers and how they decline. You understand what I'm saying? And I'll give you this. This is why I stay on Cynthia G's ass, because what she's talking about can overwhelmingly become the outcome of this, a degradation in the numbers in the population, which they're already there. I don't know if a lot of y'all know this, but a high amount of the population, both black and Latin, has been lost to abortion. Same with white culture too. The only problem is there's 62% of the population. It affects them very much a lot less than it affects you. At 14%, 15% is African Americans and Latin Americans. You understand what I'm saying? It's a small percentage of the population versus 62%. So the vast majority, overwhelmingly, is them. All right. And people just find a way, I guess, to their salvation by kissing their ass. And I have to tell you, from growing up with Italians and Greeks and Jews and all that shit, they hate when you're like that. They hate when you're like that. In fact, you set yourself up to not ever be respected more than being a pet. A pet. That's what you set yourself up at. So when you over there, and I'm telling you, because I grew up with, I still have white friends who call me every freaking day. Shout out to my friend Joey, Dominic, Papa Donasio, Costanopoulos. I can keep on going on. You know what I mean? Um, you know what I mean? Costa Capa. I said Costa Papanopoulos, excuse me. Costa Papadonasio. And I can name you other ones. These are people that I've known all my life. I've ate at their houses. I've spent Christmases with them, with their weddings. These are my friends. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about this stuff before, and I've said to them before, I was like, and they've said to me straight up, I hate when people, you know what I hate? And we're open with each other. They'll say, I hate when like black people and Latin people, they brown nose. That's what they call it. We're brown nose and they're groveling. You understand? Like you're forcing yourself to fit in, and that shit don't work for you. It'll work for a little bit, but what you get to be known as is the brown nose around the office, or the brown nose on the job site, or the brown nose of the kisses ass here, everywhere. And especially when you go out of your way to disrespect your own in front of them. Oh, do you just solidified yourself as a pet then? A pet, P-E-T, pet, a pet. There's Asian pets, there's Latin pets, there's black pets, there's Manilan pets, there's Mexican pets, or pet. A pet. Make no mistake about it, you're a pet. You understand? This is my intelligence. You said, yep, you're a pet. You understand? That means like everything I say, you giggle with it. Everything I say, let's do it. You're like, yeah, sure, man, let's do it. You have no opinion of your own. You'll go along like a Kwame Brown. I will agree with him on that. That go along, get along gang type shit. You know what I mean? That's what he meant. I mean, you're a pet. And I don't do pets. I can sniff a pet out in 5 minutes. That's a fact. I can sniff one of these motherfuckers and I'll be like, oh, you off. We used to call them, we used to call them posers. That's what we used to call them, posers. And now it's cool to be a poser. Well, it ain't cool for me. And I know a whole bunch of other people who too feel like that. But now I understand, like, y'all got kids in college now. You know what I'm saying? You had your kids when you were 12, 13, 14 years old, where the rest of us was actually going to school. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I, myself, and a lot of rest of us ain't in that situation. And I'm trying to tell you honestly and truthfully, and I swear to God to you, I'll say this to your parents, your 15-year-old can be the fuck up out of here. On my mama. You know what I'm saying? Your 15-year-old can be the fuck up on out of here, depending on their behavior. So be careful what you, how can I say, promoting them, instilling them, and start instilling some dignity instead of them being pets. You're raising your children to be pets, to be subservient. I would some would call that a slave or an indentured servant. Guys, if you know someone that's in trouble or duress as far as being homeless or whatever the case may be, please try to direct them already. Hey, what's up, kid Jew? If you know somebody that's homeless or you see somebody that's homeless or whatever, just be like, sir, ma'am, if they look mentally stable. I want to underline that. Don't walk up on nobody that look like they on drugs. Don't walk up on nobody that looks like they're drunk. And don't walk up on nobody. Your eye should be able to distinguish that. And they'll tell someone will tell you. Tell them people, hey, listen, we can find you somewhere to go because it's gonna be extremely cold or whatever, whatever. Don't say anything about getting no police involved. A lot of homeless people hate police. They hate them because they know how the police treat them. Let me tell you, like, I think it had happened to me like once or twice where I was sitting in I used to go to this McDonald's on 42nd 47th Street, excuse me, I said 42nd, 47th Street. And I used to sit there for like 6 to 7 hours sometimes. You know what I mean? I'd be on my phone. There was a place for me to plug in my phone. And the reason I would do that because it was closer to higher to the going into the 50s. And a lot of people in New York, y'all gonna know what I mean by that. But it's close to going into the 50s. So it's like you wouldn't be bothered. You know what I mean? Like, so the manager in there, he was a white dude. He knew me. And I would go in there and I would buy something. I wasn't just sitting there, I would buy something. So I buy coffee, then boom, I buy Danish, then I buy a hamburger. I had a little budget worked out for that or whatever. So it was cool. Somewhere along the line, he got transferred to another store. And when he got transferred to another store, there was a woman manager in there. Now, this woman was black. And my man, he knew about the story because I told him because I was bitching about it. But she gave me a rough ass time. Had it not been for her Latina, and I mean mostly I say Latina because it was mostly girls. Had it not been for her Latina employees taking up for me, she was like, I remember one morning it was snowing and like we had to leave the place like 6 o'clock in the morning. And so it was snowing. And she was like, sir, you're gonna have to leave. You've been here for 2 hours and blah 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 and McDonald's policy and blah 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 blah. I said, oh, you a pet. You a pet company girl, huh? From McDonald's. I really wanted to say, bitch, how far in life do you think you're gonna get with this little fucking rinky dink ass job? And in another 5 years, they already got the machines with the sodas that you get that. And when you ever go to Wendy's, they eliminated the drink maker. I remember when they used to have a drink maker at them fast food restaurants. They eliminated the drink maker. And now it's a machine. Here go a cup, put that shit in the machine, hit one for ice, and hit the soda you want to. We'll see you next time. You know what I mean? So yeah, they ain't eliminated one job. Pretty soon they gonna have motherfucking robots flipping burgers. So it's only gonna be one man in that store. If you think I'm fronting, Amazon got stores like this that are food stores now in New York. You know what I'm saying? That what do you call it? Manless stores where you just go in there and there's nothing in there. There's nobody in there. There's no attendant or nothing or whatever. Everything is like little box windows or whatever. I think they got one out of Staten Island. There's another one somewhere else too. It's a couple locations in New York that they have these stores. But just look them up, manless stores. If you just enter that into Google right now, manless stores, you'll see it come up. And just put in manless stores in New York or staffless stores in New York. They'll come up. Yeah, they already have them. They have them and they got them in Jersey and they got them out here. So they're eliminating those jobs already. That's why I say anybody's invested in, unless you own the store or unless you like, you know what I mean, you're not going to get anywhere at that. You know what I'm saying? Like I see a lot of people that'll have their chest poked out because they're the employee at a 99-cent store I ain't trying to say nothing in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, yo, homie, how long you think this gonna work for you? And then if you really pay attention, later on in life, that'd be that same 50, 60, 70-year-old person that's now working at 50, 60, well, not even 50, let's say 70, 80 years old. I've seen people that have been like well over retirement age and they're still working because they can't afford nothing. So be careful when you make fun of people right now because I can tell you honestly and truthfully, like it just amazes me how people they have to make fun of homeless people. They have to make fun of like people that ain't got the fly sneakers on and all that shit or whatever to make themselves feel good. And that's a deeper problem. That's called low self-esteem. And you're not gonna cure your low self-esteem by trying to tear down and beat down your own. And I hate to say this, but it is the way it is. Can't say that I am surprised. It's a robot world. That's right. Automation. You understand? Automation comes with the term, in my opinion, of instant gratification. And the instant gratification has been polarized, to be quite honest with you, during this pandemic. You don't believe me? How many of y'all motherfuckers now order from Grubhub on a regular basis now? Huh? How many of y'all Order ahead to get your food. So when you get there, you can automatically have it. How many of you order your coffee like that at Starbucks? How many of you order your coffee at Dunkin' Donuts or whatever with automation? Instant gratification is really is translated as, and the reason it's translated is that is because that's the mood of the future. Keep these motherfuckers coming in, keep them moving. I'll give you another example. When I went to college, I learned about palettes and color and how these palettes, and y'all might want to use this, how these palettes and color, and including YouTube, that's why it's the colors it is. The palettes and color evoke emotion. So, for example, if you in a upscale restaurant, the color palettes are usually turquoise, light blue, baby blue, green, shit like that, right? Well, if you're in a fast food restaurant, they particularly always happen to be yellow, red, bright blue, etc., etc. Hey, Kia, the reason that these colors is to harry you. If you look at any fast food restaurant, whether it be McDonald's, whether it be Burger King or whatever, they all have the same color palette. Now, if you look at what's the name, like a Red Lobster, um, Olive Garden, all these places, whatever, you'll see they have the latter color palette that I was talking about. Just look for yourself and you'll see what I'm talking about. Especially stores that are involved in vertical integration, synergy, shit like that. Which like I said, there's a whole bunch of shit I know. I just don't be telling people because, hey, I gotta have some support to be doing all that. I can give them niggas game for free. Fuck all that. I'm saying I paid 40,000 some change to go to college. Black, white, gray, red. I read this as well. Yeah, it's not black, white, gray, red. I don't know about that, but those particular color palettes are held president over anything, which are red, blue, yellow, white. And then those are rushing colors. And then the palettes for tranquility are browns, greens, turquoise, teals, and some forms of burgundy, but most people don't use burgundy unless it's seating or something like that. But those are the color palettes. If you look that up right now, it'll come up the exact same way. I don't know anything about gray and white and what they invoke at all. I know those colors have been used to invoke, people will say the yin and the yang and all that theory-based Illuminati shit or whatever, which don't exist. The idea of Illuminati is actually trick. I keep trying to tell y'all that. I know the center base, like I said, the owls fly, baby. But y'all believe what you want to. I be telling y'all shit like literally. That's what gets me mad because I be telling y'all shit and y'all just don't get it. Like you either don't connect it, don't get it. I literally there's not one motherfucker except for maybe two or three other guys that were used to be in the industry that are giving you the shit straight based and you just don't pick it up because you're too busy like key he y'all gonna key and a he your ass into the grave. That's what's gonna happen because so many of y'all so involved in hip hop and wondering who what star y'all mostly star driven. That's the best way I can put it, star driven. You want to follow behind stars and everything like that. And then the real problems that ail you, like I was talking about with homelessness, this damn pandemic that's still going on, the surging. They're getting something like 2 million cases a day again. And in some states, it's higher than before the shit first started. And y'all not paying attention to that. This motherfucker Biden is running around and all the promises that he made that I hate to say it like this, black women that you paved the way to get this motherfucker, the ones that voted this way, to pave the way for that racist redneck motherfucker to get elected. And I'm not just saying that now because the day before the elections, I said, don't vote for this motherfucker. And I said it right in front of Trump Tower. And ain't none of y'all motherfuckers went up to Trump Tower. Y'all was scared. Ain't a piece of black media that went up there. Shout out to Choke No Joke right now, man. It's down in Atlanta, man, covering that Tasha K case too. Pull up game, man. Fuck all that. That's a real journalist. Journalists don't sit in the house all the fucking time. They hit the street and hit the beat. The field journalist used to be the one that everybody wanted to be. You don't believe me? Who do you think is more probable? The guy the guy that sits in the office and is on the nightly news every night, or the guy that's on the ground in Afghanistan following soldiers shooting in the war? Those are the guys that win the Pulitzer prizes and all that shit or whatever. Not the guys that sit behind the desk. And that's why I get tired when I see so many guys. They don't do nothing. They don't even go out nowhere. And I'm like, how are these guys collecting thousands of dollars, and they don't do nothing but sit back and just talk bullshit. You know what I mean? They ain't even talking no real shit. So yeah. Guys, if you know somebody that's homeless or something like that, please try to direct them or give them the attention or even direct some agencies towards them. That's all I got to say. I'll talk to you guys later.